I don't trust her, and I haven't trusted her for the past 2 years, my client told me. I love what I do, but I can't work with her anymore, so I need help finding a new job, she said. My client was a senior vice president, African-American female in her 40s, who had been working for the same C-suite leader, a white woman in her 50s, for 3 years. That's when I was brought in. Hi, my name is Paul Tripp, and I'm a certified executive coach and organizational strategist located in Whitefish, Montana. I have been actively coaching and working with organizations since I retired from the Navy as a cryptologic warfare officer embedded in the National Security Agency. I'm really lucky to have found my second passion in coaching. Speaking of passion, how have you regained the commitment of employees who are passionate about their work, but not their working circumstances? As you know, the Great Resignation has illustrated that employee satisfaction in organizations correlates to commitment and engagement, which can be measured through productivity and retention. Because my client didn't trust her boss, her commitment to the organization and her level of engagement was no longer the same. Yes, she was still showing up and working because she couldn't afford to quit her job, and she knew it would take at least 6 months to find the right next job, but she didn't think she could hold on much longer. And again, this is where I was brought in. You know, what I know through years of coaching is that when an employee experiences a lack of commitment to their boss or their company, it's often because a break in trust has occurred. I then work with clients to try to understand the break in trust and where that occurred. And to do this, I explore commitment on 3 levels: individual commitment, team commitment, and organizational commitment. At the individual level, commitment is about a person keeping their word and delivering on their responsibilities. At the team level, leaders create commitment by creating a sustainable work rhythm for their people. Leaders properly sequence tasks and socialize ideas, right, to establish and strategize so that others can create. At the organizational level, leaders create commitment by staying true to their vision, by being accountable to their mission and values, and creating a sense of purpose. In the case of my client, a senior vice president, African-American female in her 40s, her trust was broken at the individual and organizational levels of commitment. We discovered this when I brought both leaders together for an alignment meeting. During this alignment meeting, my client's boss, a C-suite leader, a white woman in her 50s, said, "I just don't feel like I have your full trust." The conversation uncovered the fact that my client keeps her work life and her personal life separate. While her boss viewed this as a violation of their relationship, the C-suite leader was not aware of the responsibility my client felt in raising 2 African-American boys in a big city. This was the break in trust at the individual commitment level. My client believed that if she kept her professional word and delivered on her responsibilities, she was keeping up her end of the commitment, when in fact her boss wanted the same personal relationship she had with her other direct reports. The second break in trust occurred at the organizational level of commitment. Just to remind you, at the organizational level, this is when leaders stay true to their vision, behaving according to their mission and values, and create a sense of purpose for employees. This C-suite leader continually spoke of a vision where she wanted her employees to have a good work-life balance, and repeatedly encouraged employees to take the time they needed with their families. Yet when my client tried to establish the work-life balance that she needed to raise 2 boys, her boss would penalize her for this by questioning the events on her calendar. Alignment meetings with the client and their manager can be very productive, and these 2 leaders renewed their commitment to having more open communication, and they also took shared accountability for the role they both played in breaking the trust. If you take one thing away from what I've shared with you today, it's this: when you notice that an employee, or maybe you yourself, are experiencing a lack of commitment to your boss or to your company, I encourage you to think about where your trust might have been broken. A great starting point for exploring where your trust might have been broken are at the 3 levels of commitment: the individual commitment, team commitment, and organizational commitment. Thank you for your time.